On the Ethiopia crash that killed 157 people. In the first official word since the disaster, investigators concluded that the pilots followed all the safety procedures laid out by Boeing. Ethiopia's transportation minister said that the plane maker should review controls for the 737 MAX jetliner. Well, Boeing has confirmed it is reviewing the report. So let's get more on this breaking news. Bloomberg's Benjamin Katz now joins us. Ben, we were following actually the news conference together in the last hour or so. What have we learned? So this is not now about the sensor, but it's also, implicating basically the automation part that reads the sensor. Is that right?
Exactly.
Right.
I think that the main finding here is that the pilots, what Ethiopia is coming out and saying is that the pilots are not at fault. And that's really the main takeaway, because it implies that they were given the instruction, they had the instruction from Boeing following the Indonesian crash that came 5 months earlier. They followed that procedure, and still the plane, they weren't able to avert the disaster that the procedure was meant to have. So it raises a bunch of questions about, what did Boeing do in response to Indonesia? Was it enough? What is, the fallout from that? And then also this big question about whether Boeing really understands the issues with the MCAS system.
I want to ask two questions, Ben, with your authority on European transportation that are tangential to this heartbreaking news from Ethiopia today. The first one is there any indication within the Boeing system that this is outside of the 737 MAX? Is this still a discrete study for Boeing, or is it becoming a question of trust of the rest of their commercial platform?
I think it's very clearly the MAX at this stage, and this goes back to the development of the MAX, right? The development of the MAX was kind of ushered in response to the A320neo, the Airbus kind of competitor, the competitor plane, and because of adjustments they had to make, putting the engine slightly forward to accommodate the size of it, they had to introduce a system to essentially fix or to avert this stall issue. So no, I would say that this is specifically focused on the MAX
Very
issue.
quick, what is next within this investigation? What's the next event?
So we're waiting first for Boeing's response. We'll see if they agree and affirm everything that the authorities are saying with regards to the pilots and the pilot actions, and then really it'll come down to the fix, which they say that they'll come out with in the following weeks. After that, authorities will need to approve it. So it could still be months until we see this plane up in the skies again.